Dear friends, I welcome you to our Bible study online. We shall be discussing worship in general. This is because a good understanding of worship in general can enrich the way we approach the Holy Mass or participate in it. The main Bible passage that will guide us in our discussion on worship is John chapter 4, verses 20 to 24, even though we shall be concentrating on verses 22 to 24. What is worship? Both the Greek word and the Hebrew word, often translated worship, mean to fall or bow down or to prostrate oneself in homage to a superior being who in our own case is God. Etymologically, worship is connected with the word worth or worthiness. It means giving due worth to God. Worship focuses on the worthiness of God. The scriptures tell us that He alone is worthy, which means He alone is to be worshipped. Now, let us focus on John chapter 4, verses 22 to 24 and see what this passage tells us about worship. Here, we'll be looking at the following points: the role of knowledge in worship, the role of love in worship, the meaning of worship in spirit, the meaning of worship in truth, and then we shall consider the question, who is a true worshiper? The first is the role of knowledge in worship. In John chapter 4, verse 22, Jesus tells the Samaritan woman that they, the Samaritans, worship what they do not know, but the Jews worship what they know. Knowledge is extremely important in worship. The truth is that we cannot worship God well or worship Him according to His real worth if we do not know Him. In real life, the honor we give to a local government chairman is different from the honor we give to the president of a country. The honor we give to the bishop is different from that of the pope. So if worship means giving due worth to a being, then we need to know who the being is before we can know his real worth. We can only give God his due worth if we truly come to know him, that is, how big and how great he is. There's a huge difference between knowing God and knowing about God. In Italian, we have two words for the verb, English verb to know: sapere and conoscere. In Spanish, we have saber and conocer, and both of them mean to know. But they do not mean exactly the same thing. Spanish saber talks about knowing about somebody. And to know about somebody, it could be from reading a material on the person. It could be about viewing the person on television from time to time. It could also be from what somebody has told me about the person. But this is different from knowing a person. Conocer talks about knowing a person. In this case, I need to come in contact with the person, not just once, not twice, but again and again, to discover who the person really is. So this talks about knowledge from experience. You experience a person, and over time, you begin to discover who that person really is. Jesus did not speak English and did not speak Italian or Spanish. He spoke Aramaic. And the very word he used to define The verb to know is yada, Aramaic yada. And we find it in John chapter 17 verse 3 when he talked about eternal life, that eternal life is this, to know the Father and to know Jesus, the one he has sent. What does this Aramaic yada mean? It means deep, intimate, loving, covenantal relationship with God. So knowing God arises from revelation or experience. Experiential knowledge of God comes from relationship with Him over time. It is not just something you discover all at once. As you enter into His presence, you continue to grasp His person. As we relate with God over time and come to grasp, or if you like, have a deeper revelation of His saving grace, His mercy, His wonder, His kindness, and what happened on the cross, and even the power of the cross, we are in a better position to worship Him in a way that befits His words. The greater God is to us, the greater the worship we want to give to Him. Thank you for joining us today. I hope to see you next time.